Hello friends and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another tutorial on ISTQB Specialist Performance Tester certification. We are in chapter 4 talking about performance testing task and continuing ahead with 4.2 analysis, design and implementation. As a part of this particular topic, we are further breaking down into subtopics and moving into the next subtopic as 4.2.5 analyzing throughput and concurrency. As a part of this tutorial, we will be exploring beyond the details on the understanding of the throughput and concurrency. In previous tutorial, we understood the importance of load profile, and during that load profile, we need to identify one of the data creation that what kind of throughput and what kind of concurrency you would need in order to populate or apply that load profile on a given scenario. Now here we'll be understanding on a deeper dive that what exactly throughput is all about and how does a concurrency matter for a load profile altogether. Now it is important to understand different aspects of the workload, which includes throughput and concurrency. In simple terms, I did tell you in the previous tutorial that throughput is number of transactions placed per unit time, and concurrency stands for number of users simultaneously working on an action or a system. To model operational and load profiles properly, both aspects should be taken into consideration because these users will be the one who will be generating that necessary throughput on the scenario. So starting with the system throughput basically deals with getting the number of transactions per unit time, and system throughput is basically a measure of number of transactions of a given type that the system processes in a unit of time. So it's just like, 50,000 transactions get placed in 50 or 1 hour of time on a particular server. So it probably can be any application what people are trying to do, and we just want to have a count of that. Now, for example, the number of orders per hour or the number of HTTP requests per second. This is a quick example to understand what could be the count of throughput. System throughput should be distinguished from network throughput, which is the amount of data moved over the network. So of course, network throughput is different from the system throughput. The system throughput are the transactions related to the system itself, whereas the network throughput is the amount of data being transferred through the network. Workload modeling is usually done by considering the number of virtual users, which is like created using the tool, and those tools are good at populating virtual users by replicating the action which you have defined, and the think time, which are the delays between the user action, will be considered for the workload modeling. However, system throughput is also defined by processing time, and that time may increase as load increases. Because of course we do understand when few people are working on a desired system on a particular transaction, the time required will be something limited. But when it proceeds with high amount of people or high load, we generally expect a longer duration for processing. Now system throughput is calculated as it is equal to number of virtual users divided by processing time plus think time. So processing time will be added with think time, and over that you will have the number of virtual users put together, and that gives you the ratio of the system throughput. So when the processing time increases, throughput may significantly decrease even if everything else stays the same. So we just want to understand that this is how we calculate the system behavior and how the processing time can be proportional to it. System throughput is an important aspect when testing batch processing systems. In this case, the throughput is typically measured according to the number of transactions that can be accomplished within a given time frame, which includes also example like a nightly batch processing window. Further to add, on the other hand, we are talking about concurrency, which simply means simultaneous number of users working on any particular scenario. Now, concurrency is a measure of number of simultaneous parallel threads of the execution, or can be referred to the activities being performed by the number of users. For interactive systems, it may be number of simultaneous or parallel users. Concurrency is usually modeled in load testing tools by setting the number of virtual users. So again, if you have worked with performance testing with certain tools, you do understand that when it comes to JMeter or load runner, you have a provision in the controller to define the number of users who will be creating that thread. Concurrency is definitely an important measure. It represents the number of parallel sessions which will be created, each of which may use its own resources. So you have dedications or allocation of these resources based on the number of users what you provide to them. Even if throughput is the same, the amount of resources used may differ depending on the concurrency. The more the number of people, the less the resource will be remaining. Typically, the test setups are closed system where the number of users in the system is set, like a fixed population. If all users are waiting for the system response in a closed system, no new users can arrive. So that's a cap limit when it is defined, that if a dedicated number of users are already working in that processing cap limit, then other users will be kept on pending and will be waiting for the processing to complete and get started. Now, many public systems are open systems. New users are arriving all the time, even if all the current users are waiting for the system response. So particularly like when you talk about Google, LinkedIn and all, there might be any number of people working on, and they have still other users joining in and getting responses to that. Whereas if you talk about some of the applications which are built in for chats or maybe call center support, service center support, the other users have to wait. Just as simple as that to understand that how this principle works. Well, that was a quick thing to talk about the throughput and the concurrency. That's all from this particular tutorial, team. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for watching the video, team, and happy learning.